Hey there, baseball fans. Nathan Rohde and Shooter Hunt here with the latest episode of Coffee and Curveballs. Shooter, we've wrapped up the SEC recruiting classes, so now we move on to the ACC, and we're starting off with the Atlantic Division.
Yeah, ACC crushes that I-95 corridor on the East Coast. A lot of talent coming from there, so pumped to talk about them today.
Excellent. Well, let's start it off in the Atlantic Division with Boston College. And as I look up and down this lineup, or this recruiting class really, I mean, it's what I expect. A lot of guys coming out of the Northeast to the Eagles. What do they got?
Yeah, a lot of tough-nosed kids, blue-collar, multi-sport athletes. Daniel Baruch at the top, Rhode Island kid, big first baseman, can swing it from the right side, but can also pitch, maybe a Sunday starter, midweek guy by the time it's all said and done, but a good-looking bat. Evan Moore, who shined at the Future Games a couple years ago, right-hander out of Connecticut, can run up in the low 90s, good 3-4 pitch mix. Luke Gold out of New York, left side of the infield, defender, just a gamer. Good-looking athlete. I think he's going to get a lot better once he gets to Chestnut Hill, has a chance to perform and get strong there. But all throughout, Barry Walsh, good-looking athlete. I got to see at Franklin Pierce at the New England Top Prospect Games a year and a half ago. Brian McMonigal, South Jersey kid, also a top quarterback. So they got good, talented athletes there, and they're going to get to campus, and Coach Gambino's going to work with them.
Yeah, we know it. So moving on, heading down to a little warmer weather, we got Clemson. And as always, especially with a lot of those top ACC programs, Clemson's going to be, battling some draft implications with this class. But right at the top, Nasim Nunez, a shortstop out of Georgia, really just live actions in the infield, quick bat at the plate, just another one of those gamer types. Doesn't really stand out physically, but he's athletic, and he's got those athletic actions that really translate. But then also you got right-hander Mac Anglin out of Ohio, hard thrower. He's going to be watched for the draft, but if they don't have good weather in the spring, that might play well into Clemson's hands. Jonathan French, one of the top catchers in the country. I mean, as usual, we're going down this list, and a lot of talent coming in for the Tigers.
Yeah, Paul Labriola, big left-hander out of Florida who, I mean, the arm action is real loose. You can easily imagine another 20, maybe 25 pounds after he gets on campus for a year. Just going to continue to grow. Pierce Gallo, shortstop, we love down in Jupiter. Just the actions he had there. You put he and Nunez on the infield. That's some good defense you're getting there for the Tigers.
Yeah, it certainly is. So heading down a little further south into the Panhandle, we got the Seminoles of Florida State. And their top recruit, who's definitely going to have some eyes on him for the draft, is right-hander Brandon Walker out of North Florida Christian.
Yeah, Brandon Walker, he's a hard thrower. I mean, he's been up to 96 for at least 2 years now. I've said it for a while. I don't think 100's out of the question for him. Good slider, gets in there, so potential frontline guy, Friday, Saturday starter. But it goes deeper than that. You're in Florida. You're getting the top talent. So Bryce Boone, catcher, Caleb Cali, another real good hitter who's emerged throughout the last year. I got to throw in a Jersey guy because you got Lilo Paxia coming down there, and this dude just hits. So he gets in the box, and he's not scared of anything. Florida State fans are going to really like him.
I'm sure they will. But now heading back into that cold weather section of the ACC, we got Louisville, and as usual, mining that Midwest hotbed of talent. You might think I'm crazy calling the Midwest a hotbed, but it is. There's lots of talent in that region. Right at the top, Avery Short, one of the top left-handers in the country, coming out of Indiana. He's a guy shooter that I feel like is going to get a lot of looks for the draft. Guys are going to like him. But if that price isn't right and it doesn't quite fit, I can see him getting to the Cardinals.
Yeah, and he's a competitor. So you get him onto campus, 4 pitches for a strike, into the low 90s. It's a low floor or low ceiling, high floor guy where you know what you're going to get. He's going to pound the zone and attack it. He was a late get for them, which really boosted the class. Michael Przecki, another left-handed arm out of Illinois, big physical kid who's going to run up there in the low 90s. And Kellen Tulio out of Pennsylvania gives them 3 big-time lefties. Can you imagine, Rhodey? Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, hey, you got 3 lefties coming at us.
Yeah, that's a tough look for any opponent. But then you also throw in Ryan Hawks, who's with Team USA right now, out of Kentucky. This guy is a quintessential college arm. He throws strikes, got a 2 or 3 pitch mix that he fills the zone with, gets outs. It's kind of a different look. It could be a long reliever Sunday guy for them. So definitely definitely a good arm coming in for Louisville.
Comes right out of his ear, but he pounds his own, like you said. And USA's loving it right now because it's easy to call on a guy like that. Come into big situations, know what you're going to get those ground balls, pound that zone. Ryan Hawk's good arm.
No doubt. Back into my backyard, we got North Carolina State. Mm-hmm. They've got one of the top guys in the state now that Brennan Malone has, I guess, exited and is at IMG Academy in Florida. But Chris Villeman, a left-hander from kind of the western portion of the state. Pretty athletic kid. I know scouts like him. They're going to watch him. But he's a guy that I think can get to school because there's some development still needed with his secondary stuff. And guys might not be quite ready to jump on that just yet. And, I mean, he's a guy that could blow up for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, he's the type of kid that you like to recruit because you know the talent's there, really athletic. You get on campus with a good pitching coach, teach him that little slider or cutter. I think that's going to come for him in the future, and all of a sudden he blows up. Mm-hmm. But Jose Torres, the shortstop out of Maryland that they got, I really enjoyed watching him in Jupiter. He just bounces all over the field. He's a gamer. Big situations, you want him at the plate. He's another good one. And then Austin Pace.
Big, tall right-hander. I mean, NC State known for getting that big, tall right-hander that should be playing basketball. He had Andrew Brackman several years ago.
That's what I was teeing you up for.
Exactly. But Austin Pace now coming in kind of from the Outer Banks area. He's like 6'10", 6'11", but he keeps everything pretty under control. He's a pretty athletic kid. So definitely another guy that I think can get to campus and really make a difference for NC State down the line. But Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish shooter, what do they have coming in this 2019 class?
They got, again, a lot of good-looking athletes. Liam Simon out of New Jersey, right-hander, early on in the summer. It's real pretty. Loose out of the hand, up to 93, good feel for 3 pitches. Scuffled a little bit in Jupiter, but the upside's there, and I expect him to be throwing harder in the future. And I'm sure the Fighting Irish staff is expecting him to, at some point, be in that weekend rotation. Dom Cancelleri, another kid out of Jersey who's just tough, hard-nosed, tacks his own, has a big breaking ball. I'm sure he's going to be able to get some swings and misses with that. Kyle Hess, again, I guess the Fighting Irish are getting into Jersey pretty good. He's an infielder, Hudson County kid who, again, tough, feel for the barrel, really good. Casey Kmet out of Illinois, whose brother is on the football team right now. Mm-hmm. But Casey Kmet's one of those guys where, hey, the tools may not stand out huge in a showcase, but when you watch him over more games for 3 and 4 years in South Bend, he's going to be a guy that the team and his teammates will love having on the team because he gets big hits in big situations and he plays hard all the time.
Mm-hmm. Now let's wrap up the Atlantic Division with Wake Forest, the Demon Dinkins. Their top recruit is Derek Crum, who's a legitimate two-way guy coming out of Florida, a standout, 2-time standout maybe at future games. Definitely played at least once, I know, but outfielder and left-handed pitcher.
Yeah, he's a great athlete and the type of guy who I'm sure the Demon Deacons are hoping develops in that 2 or 3 hole while they're in Winston-Salem. But this class is a little bit smaller, especially coming from the 18 class that was a good size where they brought in a lot of freshmen. So getting a guy like Crum to help progress the program and continue that winning streak that they've been on the last few years is very important. Then Adam Sasir, big, strong hitter out of Pennsylvania. They like to get those guys down there. Coach Salento gets those Rake Forest guys going. So Wake's in good hands. They're getting some good pieces to add to that 18 class, and they got a lot coming in 20 and 21 too.
Excellent. So that's a look at the Atlantic Division of the ACC. Be sure to stay tuned this week as we head over to the Coastal Division of the ACC and we look at the 2019 recruiting classes. For Shooter Hunt, I'm Nathan Rohde. This was Coffee and Curveballs. And until next time, we'll see you guys at the ballpark.